Hey pieces, and welcome to another video. But today we're going to be looking at, this guy called Bill's channel. He has a lot of real or fake stuff, and I normally watch it. And today we're going to be reacting. And just before this video starts, you might not be able to see, but it says "Get a win to be pinned." It's easy. It's easy. Just comment on one of my videos and I will choose the winner. Prizes will be interviewed shortly. Like when I get up to I don't know, 1,000 subscribers, if you ask me, I will be able to reveal some giveaways, and if you get pinned, then I'll send this giveaway to you. Now I don't know what the giveaway is going to be because it could be in the future, and it's easy. You just go onto YouTube and see this guy. His name is called Bill's channel. Now we're going to be watching one of his real fake Yellowstone super volcano. So we're up soon. Real or fake is the sound on this. Oh, sound's not on. Okay. We'll just need to put the sound up. The mysterious Bloop creature. To watch this, shall we? I've seen this one before, I think. I watched one of these in a good long while, so we're gonna have to have a
Did you just hear something strange? I think I did. Hey guys, Bill here. Wow, what a time we've had this week going through all the submissions you guys sent in. I can't believe it. Topping the list is a video about a hawk dropping...
So what the whole video is about, so you can go to the I bit, up on the corner. Then you can vote real or fake and see if you're right or not.
A snake on a family picnic. We'll get to the bottom of that one, as well as this video about a whale smashing up a sailboat. We also have a trout fish that has fur to keep warm in the winter, the worst fakes of the week, and the big story, which you guys have been asking me to do forever, the Bloop. That's right, we're taking on the big guy, so don't go away.
Dun, 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 dun. I remember the tune.
Strange sounds. There's no shortage of that showing up in my inbox. From Colorado to India, England, and everywhere else, people are hearing all sorts of
Not in Australia, though. That's
some strange noises heard around the world the last few weeks. But when it comes to the biggest strange sound of them all, it comes from the ocean, and it's called the Bloop. Various submissions related to the Bloop have been sent in by hundreds of people. The first of which was Raul Trevino, Mike Bonilla, and Ross Potter. Now the question is not so much whether the sound itself is real, but rather what made the sound. Could it be coming from some gigantic unknown creature at the bottom of the sea?
Yeah.
Or is that idea just a big fat fiction?
Big fat fiction. It's usually big fat fake.
As it turns out, the internet is filled with epic amounts of information about the Bloop. In 1997, scientists from NOAA, using special underwater microphones, picked up a sound from the South Pacific that was so loud it was able to be heard for more than 3,000 miles, or about 4,800 kilometers. As we listen to a speeded up version of it here, I think you'll understand how it got its nickname, the Bloop. When news of the Bloop went public, Dr. Christopher Fox, the former head of NOAA's Geophysical Data Unit, told New Scientist magazine that the most likely source of the sounds, and this is a quote, was some sort of animal. But the only problem with that theory was the biggest known sound created by marine animals can only be heard from less than 1,000 miles, or about 1,600 kilometers.
Yeah.
So what do we have here? Maybe a megalodon?
Yeah.
Not likely, because they're extinct. But even if they were alive, they couldn't make sounds like that because they're smaller than blue whales. This creature would have to be something much bigger, like 5 times the size of a blue whale. Impossible, you say? I don't know. With 95% of the ocean still unexplored, anything's possible, right?
Yeah. 95%.
I gotta tell you, this one was a really tough riddle to solve, but thanks to some excellent detective work by the Chewy Piranha Group, we were able to come up with this. the official
Oh, the
answer.
trooper,
Now,
honest.
if
I
you
know
watch
that.
this series, you know there's no power on earth that's going to make me open this up and show you what's inside before you
Yeah,
tell
like the
me
Bloop's
what's
gonna
going
eat
on
you
up
or
here.
something.
Okay? Now, when I say go, what I want you to do is yell out as loud as you can, either real or fake. Okay? Now, if you just can't do that because it's not a good time, it's okay to pause the video. Go to the comment section below, leave your answer there, and then come back here and play the rest of the video.
I'm like gonna go up on the iPad because that's what I usually do.
Let's see if you're right, okay? Now, as a third way to go, you can just vote right up here, okay? So what are you waiting for? Go!
I'm gonna go fake. Jeez. 52% actually.
Did you do it? Good, because in just a few minutes I'm going to show you what's inside this envelope. We're going to get to the bottom of that bloop sound. But before I do that,
I'm gonna go
I just want to show you a couple
unknown.
other
I'm gonna go unknown because there's no creature that can be the size of a blue whale. The blue whale is the most biggest creature on the earth. So I don't think it is gonna be relevant. We need to put sound. See what he's saying.
in this week. The most popular submission that came in last week was this one. It was first sent in by Tadas Kamaniskas, Labo Empire, and somebody who goes by the name of Jibo. The video claims to show a hawk that drops a big snake on a family having
That's a big fat fake.
Guys, you know, I think hawks are pretty aggressive birds, but I don't think they're that aggressive. As it turns out, this video was just part of an advertising campaign for an Australian Football League club called,
Wait.
you got it, the Hawks.
Yeah, I know
Next,
that.
we have this video
From
sent in by
AFL.
Man But No Man Films. This one claims to show a whale jumping on top of a sailboat. Mr. Films, I don't know about you, but to me, that's definitely special effects. Which means we can now go to our special effects wizards, Peter Butler and Stuart Carpenter, over
From
at
the
the Bubblegum Monsters
Bubblegum
channel,
Monsters.
and ask our guys to show us how these people can pull off a fake like that.
Well, looking at this footage, I have to say if it's fake, it's been done extremely well. It's actually really hard to create water and cloth in computer graphics, and this video has both. Top visual effects studios spend years and a lot of money perfecting the look of their water and
Oh wait,
cloth
that
in
looks
CG.
exactly.
And actually,
Yeah.
even these days, it still doesn't look quite right. So a lot of the time, what they do is they turn to what's called practical effects. Now, what practical effects are is they'll actually shoot footage
Oh,
of, say,
Titanic,
water
20th
or
century
fire, and then they'll composite it or superimpose it all together over the top of the shot to
Exactly.
create the final look. Needless to say, you still need big budgets to create something that we see in this video here. And I think trying to pull this off on a YouTube budget
It's a big
might
fat
actually
fake.
look more like this. Luckily, the maker of this video didn't have to do any of that because it's actually real.
What?
Back to you, Bill.
Okay, guys, very funny, I get it. But I mean, really, seriously, I mean, who would think something like that is real? You know, you're just sailing along in your boat, and then suddenly this huge whale just lands right on top of your deck. I mean, can you imagine that? I don't know. Maybe he was just released from SeaWorld. Maybe he thought he was still entertaining.
Yeah.
Maybe it was Shamu. Next, we have this amazing fish called a fur-bearing trout. 6.5-year-old Rachel from Michigan sent this in after she spotted it on a wall at a restaurant on the shores of Lake Superior. Rachel, I don't know how else to say this, but the hard truth is, there is no such thing as a fur-bearing trout. Canadian taxidermist Ross C. Jobe made it from a dead trout and some rabbit hair in the 1930s. Jobe sold his creation to an unsuspecting Scottish tourist who in turn gave it to the Royal Museum of Scotland and told him it was real. The museum, believe it or not, had it proudly mounted on a wall until the hoax was finally uncovered sometime later. Today, copies from Jobe's original, like this one, hang on walls throughout the area of the Great Lakes. And speaking of things great, why don't we get back to Mr. Bloop here and see if we can get the answer to this big mystery before we start looking at pictures of hybrid animals like the zebra steer, the elephant butterfly, and the shark horse. Or is that horse shark? I don't know, to be honest, but one thing I do know, they're all so fake. It's funny. But on the other hand, the level of creativity, I mean, you have to admit, I mean, it's pretty astounding. I mean, The amount of imagination and creativity that I see coming into my inbox every day, it's unbelievable. I'm just showing you the tip of the iceberg of the stuff coming in. It's amazing. Anyway, let's get to this. Here we go. And this is a quote. A variety of evidence related to the creature known as the bloop has been carefully examined by a panel of experts in a wide range of specialties. Always a good idea. Although many questions surround the subject, our focus is primarily concerned with whether or not the sounds come from a living creature.
This is sounding suspicious.
It's not about the sound itself, it's about where it comes from. Did it come from a living creature? Okay, now I'm back. Now I'm quoting again. With this in mind, it is our final determination that the bloop. Are you ready? Did not originate from a living organism. Any claims to the contrary are fake.
What the?
That's a joke. But hey, wait, don't go away just yet, because actually now comes the important part. Now I'm going to tell you what I learned from another scientist that helped our judges make their determination.
Back in the mid-90s, we were doing volcano studies around active volcanoes around the world, and in one place in particular we put these hydrophones is a area of the ocean called the East Pacific Rise.
In addition to the volcano sounds, Dr. Dziak and his colleagues started picking up a mystery sound from the distant southern ocean, and that's the sound that became known as the bloop.
You know, back then we didn't have a clear understanding of ice noise, ice-generated sounds, because we had not really done much research down around Antarctica.
And that's the important part, because you see, they had nothing to compare the sound against for almost a decade before they finally went to the Southern Ocean and started recording the sounds of ice breaking up.
So it was just a volcano that made the ice break, but it had nothing to do with the thing. Had nothing to do.
So initially,
it had nothing to do with the sound. It's just stupid. It had nothing to do with the sound. So the sound is like fake. I just
we were recording
heard a
the sound of the
giant
bloop,
octopus, I
we
think.
didn't know what it was. We listed it as a mystery sound. Other people, my colleagues, some of my colleagues had said that it might be of animal origin. But I think once we recorded the ice sound and saw what those look like, and see that the bloop has that same characters, and we decided that that's really what.
Oh, but they look completely different. So it had nothing to do with the sound.
With this ice generated noise.
So the
I think
bloop
there's
is
very little
fake.
doubt in my mind that the bloop was made by the break of sea ice around Antarctica and was not made by a living animal.
Ha ha ha, good
Okay, well,
one.
that's all the time I have for this video. I want to thank Dr. Dziak for helping us get down to the basics of the bloop. I want to thank the Chewy Piranhas for all their excellent research work as usual. And a special thanks goes out to Peter Butler and Stuart Carpenter over at the Bubblegum Monsters channel right here at YouTube. I'm going to leave a link for the channel up here and in the description box, because you should go over there and check it out. They got some pretty funny stuff. And hey, if you've got a picture or video and you're not quite sure whether it's real or not, send it over to me at billschannel@gmail.com and I'll take a look. But please don't leave links or make submissions in the comment section, because you know that makes me crazy. See you next time.
We'll see the Chewy Piranhas, all the Bubblegum Monsters, and we probably will react to another one of these. And thank you so much for watching. Hope you really enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.